There is one question Princess Mononoke never directly answers. Princess Mononoke, Miyazaki's 1997 animated film, still widely considered one of Studio Ghibli's greatest works. A film about the war between humans and nature. A film about choices that have no right answer. But hidden inside all of that is one question it never quite says out loud. What happens to someone who was destroyed by the world and then rose, built their own kingdom, and in doing so, destroyed another world entirely? The answer has a name: Lady Eboshi. Picture this: feudal Japan, an era when women were not citizens. They were property. You are young. The world puts a price on your body, and you are sold. Not kidnapped, sold. Someone signed the contract. Someone agreed on a price. You end up as the wife of a pirate lord on a distant sea. He is brutal. He is powerful. And there is no one in this world who is coming to save you. So you learn. You learn how to survive, how to smile when you want to scream, how to read a room, read people, read the cracks where power might break. And one day, a crack opens. We don't know exactly how. Miyazaki never tells us explicitly, but we know the result. The pirate is dead. His wealth changes hands, and the woman returns to Japan, not as a victim, as a ruler. Her name is now Lady Eboshi. She builds a city from nothing, a city she calls Iron Town, a forge carved into an unforgiving forest. She arms the women who were once like her, bought out of brothels with nowhere else to go. She tends to her leprosy patients with her own hands, treating wounds no one else will touch. In that era, people with leprosy were treated as if they no longer existed, driven from their villages, forgotten by their families. Eboshi gathered them in. Look at this woman, and then ask yourself, are you sure you know who she is? Because this film, and nearly everyone who watches it, almost gets the answer completely wrong. The first version of Eboshi is the easiest to see. She is the villain. She tears down the forest. She leads attacks on the animal gods. She is cold, calculated, and has no problem sacrificing lives for her goals. Ashitaka, the protagonist, a young man from a remote tribe who gets pulled into this conflict, challenges her again and again. And Eboshi just smiles. Not an evil smile. The smile of someone who has been through too much to be moved by a young man's idealism. But here is where things get interesting. Miyazaki won't let you stay comfortable with this version. There is one scene. Ashitaka steps into a hidden room inside Iron Town, and there he finds the leprosy patients. Their wounds are bandaged. They are fed. They are treated with dignity. And the one caring for them is Eboshi herself. The same hands that ordered the destruction of the forest, those same hands, are now wrapping a bandage around someone who has no economic value to Irontown whatsoever. That is the moment the film first makes you feel sick with yourself, because you realize you decided too fast. And if the first layer already has you shaken, wait until you see the second. This is where analysis of Eboshi rarely goes. We all know she freed women from the brothels. We all know that was a remarkable thing to do in feudal Japan, an era with no legal framework to protect women like them. Many viewers, especially women, feel validated by her. But there is a question worth asking slowly. After Eboshi bought out those women's contracts, what happened next? They operate the firearms. They guard Irontown. They are the core workforce of the war machine Eboshi built. Is that liberation? Or just a change of master? Now, don't misread this. Life in Irontown is far better than life in a brothel. These women have dignity, community, and weapons. And in that world, a weapon is the most real form of freedom you can hold in your hands. But there is something deeper than material conditions. Eboshi built Irontown on her own trauma, and that trauma, without her even realizing it, shaped the power structure of her city. Loyalty in Irontown is earned through a debt of gratitude, a real debt. Eboshi genuinely saved these women, but a debt that can never fully be repaid. Psychologists have a term for this: the golden chain. You are free, yes, but free within limits that someone else already set for you. These women are free from the brothel, but are they free from Irontown? And the most suffocating part? Eboshi herself may not even know it, because what she has done to these women is exactly what she once did to herself, surviving a broken system by becoming an essential part of it. She freed them into a better version of the same trauma, not because she is cruel, but because she has never known what freedom looks like in any other form. That's already deep. But the third layer, this is the one almost no one talks about. Think about this. Eboshi was sold, turned into a commodity, made into an object the world could trade away, the very world that should have protected her. And from that moment, one belief buried itself deep inside her. You cannot trust anything except the power you build yourself. Irontown is not just an industrial city. Irontown is an argument. Eboshi's existential argument to the universe. Proof that someone who once had nothing can build everything. That you don't need a noble bloodline. You don't need a fair world. You need cunning, courage, and the willingness to pay whatever the cost. So when the forest threatens Irontown, that is not simply a conflict over trees and mines. That is a threat to the proof that her life was not wasted. When she says, "Watch closely, I will show you how to kill a god."
みな、よく見届けよ。神殺しがいかなるものか。獅子神は死をも司る神だ。怯えて遅れを取るな。
It sounds like arrogance. But read it again. She is saying something she has been rehearsing her entire life. Whatever cannot be controlled can be defeated. The Pirate Lord was a god in her life. Untouchable, undeniable, lethal. And she defeated him. The forest, the animal gods, the force of nature. To Eboshi, these are just a larger version of the enemy she once destroyed. The problem is, this time, she is wrong. And when that mistake speaks, it does not speak through words. It speaks through her arm. At the end of the film, when everything collapses, the city she built from nothing, the soldiers she trained, the belief that power can overcome anything. Eboshi stands among the ruins with only one hand left. The hand that once dressed lepers' wounds. The hand that once raised a gun. Now that hand is gone. And for the first time in her life, as shown in this film, she is not giving orders. She is not smiling that quiet smile. She has no backup plan. She just stands there. And somehow, in that moment, she feels the most human she has ever been. Think that's the end of her story? It's not. Because there is one more twist that will change how you see every character in this film, including yourself. This is an interpretation that rarely comes up, because if you accept it, you can no longer fully take anyone's side in this film. Eboshi is the only character in Princess Mononoke who is truly rational. And rational here does not mean right. Rational means her choices make sense within the world she actually lives in. We live in the present day with the luxury of shouting, "Protect the forests" and "Respect nature," while sitting in houses built from timber, using devices made from minerals dug out of the earth, drinking from plastic bottles that will still exist 500 years after we are gone. Ashitaka can afford to be a moralist because he already has an identity. A prince from the Emishi tribe, a small, isolated people with a strong spiritual heritage. San, a girl raised by the wolf goddess after her parents abandoned her, can reject the human world because she has a family outside that system. Eboshi never had that luxury. Irontown is a community with no structural protection, no political influence, no connections to the palace, no means of defending itself. The warlords who had long been eyeing their land would have crushed Irontown within months. So she made the most logical choice available to her. Control the resources. Arm your people. Find leverage against those with more power. Not because she doesn't care about the forest, but because when you have no good options, you cannot afford to pay with your values. And there is one more layer beneath all of this. Look at the relationship between Eboshi and San. Both are women who were thrown away by the human world. San was abandoned in the forest as an infant. Eboshi was sold away to the sea as a young woman. Both built their identities outside the boundaries of the normal world. San as a wolf child, Eboshi as an iron queen. Eboshi states confidently that once the forest is cleared, San will finally become human. On the surface, that sounds arrogant, even colonial, as though she knows what is best for someone else. But read it again. Eboshi is offering San the same path she once walked herself. Transform yourself from victim to ruler. Don't let your identity be defined by the people who threw you away. The problem is, she doesn't understand that San doesn't want to be saved, because Eboshi herself never had a choice. No one came to offer her a way out. She had to carve her own path, at a cost only she paid. She didn't invade San's world out of malice. She was projecting her own trauma. She saw herself 20 years younger, and she reached out the hand that was never there for her. And that, if you are honest with yourself, is something deeply, recognizably human. Now let's come back to ourselves. Because in the end, Eboshi is not about feudal Japan, not about animation, not about environmentalism. Eboshi is about what happens when someone who once had no control over their own life finally gets control, and what they do with it. Do they use it to build something truly free? Or do they just reproduce the same structure that once destroyed them, with themselves in a different position? Everyone has been at that crossroads. Maybe not as extreme as being sold or enslaved, but you know the feeling. Someone else decides your life. Your fate depends on conditions you never chose. You are powerless. And the most natural response to that, the one many people have, maybe including you, is to build control. Rules, routines, a career, a community, principles you hold onto like steel. You call it growth. You call it healing. But Eboshi teaches us that there is a thin line between building yourself up and building a fortress that keeps out even the things that should be let in. Her warmth is real. Her care is real. But she is surrounded by a distance she never admits is distance. And the most honest moment in this film is not when she shoots the forest spirit. The most honest moment is when she loses her arm, stands among the rubble, and for the first time, perhaps the first time since she stepped off that pirate ship, she does not know what to do next. That is not defeat. That is the space where something new can finally enter. The question I keep thinking about after watching Princess Mononoke is this. If Eboshi had never gone through what she went through, would Irontown even exist? And the answer is almost certainly no. Because so often, the most extraordinary things humans build are born from their deepest wounds. It's just that the cost is sometimes paid by someone else. One question for the comments. Have you ever built something, a career, a relationship, a habit, that wasn't really for your future, but to prove something to your past? Write it below. I'm curious how many of us are out there quietly building our own version of Irontown.